You're listening to the Madcast Media Network. MadcastMedia.com.
Welcome to Super Arrogant Bros, recorded on May 10th, 2020. I am Dirk, and with me is Stev. How you doing, buddy?
Doing alright.
How you doing locked up in your house?
Oh, I'm doing alright. I'm playing my video games. I got a new computer.
Oh, tell us about it.
It is a Acer Nitro, and it has, let me see here, and just in case I forget all about it, I can look on this handy dandy little thing over here. So it's a Nitro 50 with an Intel Core i7 plus processor 8700. I'm not really paying attention right now, so I'm just reading off things. An AMD Radeon with a 580X,
Okay.
1 terabyte hard drive, DVD, a card reader, and then wireless internet that I don't have to plug in a thing for.
Oh, no Ethernet?
No Ethernet.
Well, yeah.
Or unless I need to, but
I've actually had to set the recording studio at the attic of my house here, and so yeah, I have to use the Wi-Fi adapter in order to get internet access for my computer.
oof.
It's a pain in the ass, but it still works for right now. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah, what have you been playing on this unit?
I have been playing Mountain Blade finally in its full glory.
And how's it running?
Oh, like fucking silken butter.
Like butter, buddy?
Oh my god, like fucking Christ.
See, that's
It's
exactly why I'm
so-
happy you did this.
God, it's so good now that I have a good computer.
Attaboy, man. Attaboy. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. So I've got about four pieces of news to go through. First of which, a banned mobile game called Pandemia Virus Outbreak is coming to Steam. According to TechRaptor.net, developer and publisher Pockets of Energy has announced that their title, Pandemia Virus Outbreak, which was previously banned from Google Play after 1 week due to alleged references to COVID-19, will now be coming to Steam. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't understand what's all this like. We got to censor the COVID. Everyone knows what the hell the COVID is. Like, what I don't understand.
I think
Why
the
are
problem
people-
is they believe that the publishers are making light of COVID-19.
It's not that. It's not even that. Like, okay, I know we had something in mind here, but like, Christ almighty. YouTube has been doing nothing but demonetizing videos that bring up COVID-19, including, health YouTube channels. They just keep looking at it and it's just like, nope, he brought up COVID-19, shut him down, demonetize, no more ad revenue for him. And it's so weird. We know what COVID is. If people want to have gallows humor about the game, let them have gallows humor about it. There's no reason in doing this because all it's going to do is get people angry.
I completely agree with that too. And a quote from the developer, and this is also, they released a statement on their treatment via Google. Quote, "We are happy that Steam provides the platform for releasing the game and does not censor or ban our game for no reason like Google Play and Amazon Store did. Let's keep the world of indie creators or corporations free of any censorship and pay respect to the works of others." Yeah?
It's really annoying because I don't know what Google is thinking. I don't know what all of these people are thinking. All
Yeah, I
I
don't
know
either.
is it's just it boggles the mind that they're all of a sudden just gonna say, no, you don't get to play. No, I don't like it that you're making a video game about this, so we're gonna shut you down. We've gotten past this point where I thought we finally hit a point where we look at these games and just say, it's fine. It's a video game. At this point, everyone and their mother should at least have some sort of knowledge that these sorts of games are going to exist.
Yeah.
Don't censorship, please. No more. Stop, please. We've already gone past this.
Yep. And for the next bit, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is coming out with free content in an update. Free content on an EA Star Wars game.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is from EA.com, so straight from the publisher. It says, you've faced the trials and tribulations of a dangerous galaxy. You've confronted troopers, beasts, inquisitors, and a foe far greater than all of them combined. But despite that, you've made it through. To start things off, we wanted to take this time to thank all of you. From the day we first announced the game to right now, it's been an absolutely wild ride and truly humbling experience to see how so many of you have enjoyed this game. We've thoroughly enjoyed seeing many of you react so positively to the game, from your screenshots, videos, fan art, cosplay, live stream reactions, and more. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being such a supportive community. It means the galaxy to us. Your passion has moved us so much that we felt that we had to do something extra as a thank you. And that's where this update comes in. Available now, we're releasing a free content update for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Within it, you'll find the new cosmetics for Cal and BD1, the new modes for those of you who've become a Jedi, and some additional tweaks and fixes that should make things more enjoyable for all players. That's pretty damn good.
Well, here's the thing. Don't get too excited about it because they've done this before on they've been releasing like free updates. Like, I'm not talking about DLC or anything like that. If you look on how much DLC is actually being sold, it's not a lot. Like, yeah, it's probably skins. Sure. I'll give you that. But when it comes to actual gameplay updates, you don't need to buy anything in order to access most of the stuff for the game. Unless you want skins, in which case, go ahead. But I don't know. I guess that sort of explanation about Battlefront after that whole debacle when they tried to monetize the game. You remember that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And how much of a shit show that was?
A pretty huge one.
Oh, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that they're just trying to make sure that, everyone is happy and they don't all of a sudden lose their biggest cash cow right then and there. Because they're making
definitely.
a new one, by the way. They're making a new one. They're going to be taking, I think the way that it's sounding, this is going to be the last update. And I think it's Scarus is the last update. And then they're going to start development on Battlefront 3. So they'll still be doing what's it called? They'll still be doing like minor updates, like making sure that balancing is still good, that bugs aren't popping up left, right, front, and center. But they're going to be coming out with Battlefield 3 very soon, I believe. Or very soon, I say. They're going to start development on it soon-ish.
Okay. Well, let's hope that doesn't turn into a burning pile of shit.
It hasn't been. They did very well on Battlefront 2. At least when I played it on the PS4, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, the burning pile of shit though came from how they were running the release, and oof.
Yeah,
Those are bad times.
Yeah, those were extremely bad times. I will not fault you for thinking that.
Yeah.
But
And coming up next in the news, Half-Life 2 Remastered is apparently found as a listing on Steam. I could try that out. I'll be
Okay.
honest. What's that?
I mean, oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
Sure.
I'll be honest, I'm not quite really excited about the idea of a Half-Life 2 remastered, but I mean, for all I can tell, like, it could be fun to go through it again.
Yeah, it could be fun, but I mean, it's a remaster, so I guess okay, you got me there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of remasters, rumor has it, this is not totally confirmed yet, but rumor has it we might be getting a remaster of Diablo 2.
They haven't even released Diablo 4 yet.
You're right. No, they haven't. So,
They haven't even released their stupid fucking what's it called?
Diablo Immortal?
Yeah, they haven't even released that yet.
No, they haven't yet. Something tells me they're a little bit hesitant about releasing that in the first place.
Oh boy, I wonder why.
Well, and given how successful things went for Warcraft 3's release, I'm wondering how skeptical fans are going to be for the remaster of Diablo 2.
I'd be very, very skeptical.
Absolutely. And I think we need to take things with a grain of salt with any kind of following news that goes on with this game, because it's not just that. It's not that Warcraft 3 Reforged was a bad game. It's like I'm more disappointed by by seeing Blizzard make all these promises about the game just to have them back out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then speaking even further of remasters, a fan-made Super Mario 64 PC port was released just recently, and this thing actually supports 4K. Now, this is coming from TechRaptor. It says, there are countless emulators to run all the classic games you like from the Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, and all the classic consoles. Super Mario 64 is one of the most iconic games of that era, and fans have only been able to play it through emulators. Luckily, a fan-made PC port of Super Mario 64 released earlier after reverse engineering the game's source code. Yeah. And so with that, I think that's incredibly exciting to be able to see people do. I mean, just out of the very love of Super Mario 64, it was one of the absolute best games to come out from that era in the first place, and it's gone.
What?
Nintendo took it down.
Oh.
Surprise!
Oh no.
Surprise! We basically said, well, if Nintendo's not going to re-release it for us to be able to play in today's hardware, who's going to do it? Someone stepped up and Nintendo said, no.
Halt.
Verboten. Do not.
No more video game for you.
Only we make video game, not you.
Only we make fun video game, not you, small baby fool boy.
Oh yeah. So
what do you think this is? The place where you can have fun on the internet? Fuck no.
We all know Nintendo absolutely abhors to the idea of fun on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only have fun on the Nintendo Switch. That is the only fun you are allowed to have.
And if you're going to have fun online, you must pay $20 per year.
Exactly. You fool.
You fool. But that's all the news that we have for this week then. So let's go ahead and get into the main topic of the week. And I wanted to talk about this after the release of Assassin's Creed Valhalla's trailer from last week. Or was it the week before? Either way.
Yeah.
Either way, it dropped, and now we're able to get a glimpse of what the direction is that Ubisoft is going for with this new game. Stev, do you have any first impressions about this?
Well, firstly, I'm not very excited for it. I don't know if that says something about me, but every single time I think to myself, well, I mean, maybe I'll start playing today. Or maybe I'll pick up an Assassin's Creed today. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. And then as I start, attempting to do that, it's something about the story that just turns me off of it, and I don't know why.
You know what turns me off from it? This going back and forth between the historical setting and the modern futuristic setting.
Yeah, I think I think that's going to be something for me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I want to be, like a dude. All right? I just want to live through the storyline without all of a sudden being like thrown out of my immersion because you need to say, hey, guys, don't worry. The Templars still exist in the future and they're right under your noses. So as like a super cool assassin, you got to go and, you got to go do the thing. Like, go do the thing. Oh, there's like eating apples. I don't really care what's happening in the present or the future or whatever this is. I want to keep playing the video game, like the video game that you made, without these stupid and, in my very big opinion, annoying cuts. Like I wanted to go and do things as a pirate assassin. There are 2 ships in the north. When you kill one of the ships, the other one sets itself on fire and tries to ram you. That is the equivalent of watching 2 little anime girls running around, you curb stomping one of them, then the other one just sets herself on fire with a gas can and comes running at you with a box cutter. It's about as terrifying as it sounds.
Yeah, it does sound pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it kind of is terrifying. I got really fucking annoyed when I had to fight them.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
I know we should be fucking talking about the Vikings, but I just Assassin's Creed could be really good if they just stopped it with the fucking future shit.
Yeah.
No one cares about the future shit no more.
Yeah, no one ever fucking talks about that.
No one cares. That's the problem.
Yeah. Like, I understand Ubisoft wants us to care about it, but I never wanted to go through any of that when I was trying to go through the run through for the first game. And so we've been able to see this game series cover different cultures and time periods, but now we have moved on to what is, quote, the Viking Age. Mm-hmm. So, Stev, I want to handle this delicately because I want to say ever since Elder Scrolls V, ever since Skyrim, there has been this jump in ravings about the Vikings and how cool they are and their history and their weapons. And what I think that not enough people are stopping to understand is that there is a romanticization of the Vikings.
Yes, it's always been there. If you look back at it, and I'm gonna think about it real quick. If you look back at what Viking armor is supposed to look like, and then what modern culture describes it as, big helmets, tough stuff like that. Like they're supposed to be like unstoppable barbarians. They go and kill the guy and you can't stop them because they're so cool and my fucking metallurgy bullshit, bones and goddamn fucking forges make steel. Like super cool Valhalla guys. Guys, I'm gonna be real honest with you. The only reason that they raided England is because they thought that it was filled with fat people inside of churches that had gold. They never really got to fight against a real army until they fought against the English army and got their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
Now, you can definitely say, oh, well, what about that one berserker? He got stabbed in the balls. Okay, I don't know what you want me to say. A guy got into a barrel, went under a bridge, stabbed the berserker in the balls, and he died. And then the rest of the army died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, they're just northern Englishmen at this point. They do their slaves. They're just angrier than usual. It's like, boy, come on now. We don't have to pretend that the Vikings were super cool. They were pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, they kept going down south and then realizing that England had an army that knew how to fight. They had a standing army.
Well, yeah, let's just understand that there's a reason why they're not around anymore.
Well, they're not around because all of a sudden Christianity cucked them out of their religion, but
well, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's really it.
Like, think about it. Everyone's like, all the Viking guys say that joke's on you, Christians. You're celebrating the birth of your Christ on a pagan holiday. I mean, my response to that would be, I'm sorry we cucked you out of your religion. I mean, I'm sorry we cucked your holy day out of your religion and we just took it as our own. What are you gonna do? Stop us? Say hi to the rest of Europe.
Yeah exactly.
Oh, you're saying I don't have to die in battle in order to go to a good place? Oh, that sounds really cool. I'm going to worship the Christian God now. Oh, Vikings are all right, but come on, they're not that cool.
You see, what happened is that the Vikings were very big into gaming journalism, and so they crusaded for ethics in game journalism to go against the journalists. That was England, and England. Well, the anti-gamergators kicked their asses. They won the war, and history is now written by the anti-gamergators.
Exactly. Oh, it's not exactly what happened at all.
This is exactly how it happened. Exactly. But so with Assassin's Creed, I understand it is not going to be very historically accurate. I mean, don't you fight gods at some point in the series? And now getting into this Viking territory, I think it's going to be like fan service for people that like the Vikings but don't understand some of the huge flaws that came from their culture. Like, I love the mythology that come from the Nordics. I love the weaponry. I love a huge chunk of the culture. I mean, the gods in the Nordic culture were incredible to be able to talk about and learn about, but you have to understand that in a lot of cases, the Vikings were not the good guys. And for people to try acting like the Vikings are the people that you should aspire to be, I think that is unhealthy. So here's my problem with this romanticization of the Vikings. I love the culture. I love the Nordic mythology. I love the stories of the gods. Ragnarok, you have the god of war Tyr. there's so much to it that I think is incredible. Then you have like this amazing music that comes from the eras that they lived in, but also the music that is inspired by the culture from the Nords as well. And whether or not you like the culture, you still have to understand that in a lot of these situations that involve the Vikings, they were not the good guys whatsoever.
Oh no.
These are people that understood slave trade and partook in it as well. I mean, it's
indentured servitudes. Yep.
Yeah,
well, more than just
I
that.
don't understand these people that try being like social justice Vikings, like this, like Vikings against racists. Like, I don't think Vikings would give a shit of like what race you were as long as they were able to sell you.
I actually don't like the Viking culture. I don't know why.
And you know what? That's okay. So you have no idea why you don't like it?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to not sound like a dumbass when I talk about this. It's just that it's just so boring.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's just so boring. It's all the same fucking thing. If I wanted stupid, if I want God's fucking up, I'll just go to Greece.
Oh yeah, you want God's fucking up. Oh yeah, Greece got you covered, homie.
Yeah, it's just a warrior culture. Well, it's partly a warrior culture anyways. They still knew how to farm the land and all that sort of stuff. It's just boring.
Well, we've had people that try LARPing as Vikings in today's culture. And
yeah, it's because, and I'm gonna say this right now, it's because of that Viking TV show. Vikings, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, the one that was pretty historically inaccurate as well.
I think so. And it's just everyone's like, I want to be just like that. And like, okay, you can either be like that, where they're warring around with only iron tools, or you can go south, be really cool Germans, and be really fucking cool at everything. Or you go further east and then you meet the Celts. Or barring that, go back west, go straight south, become Egyptian. Or go further east, go to China, and literally Romance of the Three Kingdoms is probably happening at this moment. And almost everyone that participated in that area is basically worshipped as a god in modern day China. Guan Yu is was a real person in the olden times, and no one knows if any of his exploits are actually real or fantasy. That is how much of a badass he was.
Yeah.
Or go further east, go be Nippon Steel. There's so many other cool ones. If you're just doing it because McCool Vikings, it's not a good way of doing it. If you fanboy for the Vikings without realizing that they have faults, and this goes for any culture, you are going to lose. Every single time that somebody brings up your fucking every single time anyone brings up like, oh well, the Vikings could have been seen as bad guys too since they did the slave trade, and if your immediate response was nuh-uh, and you don't provide any sort of proof to that, you're probably fanboying for no particular reason outside of they look cool. Now, if you're liking them because they look cool and you don't get angry or happy about the lore of it all, the 100%, that's up to you. I honestly kind of don't give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your taste aesthetically. It's just that there's so many cooler like warrior cultures that are out there.
There's so much more out there. Like, yeah, like I'm Nordic, and like although my genetics are a product of raping and pillaging, but like there's so much more.
You got that dad bod, son.
What's that?
You got that dad bod, son.
Oh yeah. Like I've got that Slavic dad bod. But I mean, it's like, yeah, there's the Slavic background. There is the Celtic background that is completely rich in mythology and folklore and in cooking, and the fashions that they had. There's so much to it that, like, you might as well be able to expand in the knowledge of European history in the first place. So I encourage it. I think it's worth discouraging keeping your mind narrowed down to just the Nordic Vikings. Like, they're gone. They're a piece of history, but they are gone, and more happened besides them.
Yeah, and you know what the hilarious part of all of this is?
What's that?
Is the fact that a lot of these people that keep saying like fucking Nordic culture all the way probably haven't realized that there are certain parts of their culture that is still steeped in, you know, Christianity too. Because when Christianity came a knocking, it was slow at first, and then it took over.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
It's just, I'm sorry, guys. There's more than one way to fucking skin a cat. So there's more than one way to basically assimilate a culture. And the missionaries, again, like I said before, basically said, well, you don't have to die in combat to go to heaven. Just be a good person. I have a book that tells you what to do. Just read it and tell me what you think. I'm going to go back on the boat where I have food and all of this other stuff, and all of these other people really like us. Okay, bye-bye, friend. I'm like, then they read the book, like, oh, this Christian God is pretty cool. I guess we'll do it then. Boopity-boo, I am now Christian. Haha, you fell for my trap card, and now you're Christianized. Give me your holy day. Christmas is now ours. Oh, but that's the winter solstice. Jesus was born here.
Well, apparently, now, if I am incorrect with this, somebody please feel free to correct me on it, and also like give me a direction on where I can find the information. But from the way that I understand it, the pagans were being told, like, hey, you know what, you can keep your traditions, but we're celebrating this instead for Christianity.
Yeah, no. I think they brought the hammer hard when they finally got their foot in the door. Well, if I remember correctly, let me see here. When did Christianity? Okay. There we go. When did Christianity reach the Vikings? So let's see here. The 11th century is when Christianity was starting to pop up in like Denmark and Norway and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it looks like they really liked it. Like, they really, really liked it and took it on almost immediately.
No shit.
Like, almost immediately.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they just took it around the 11th century. Around the middle of it. They just, about 100 years later, Christianity took over.
That's
and
pretty quick.
They also started destroying pagan sites.
Jesus.
And
yeah,
replacing
really
them.
quick.
Yeah. And they replaced them with churches. So, looks like Christianity 1, pagan 0. A big fat 0. And game, set, match.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. I guess your Vikings got replaced by Crusaders.
So, okay, let's get back into gaming then. So, what predictions do you have with Assassin's Creed Valhalla? How do you think this game's going to turn out?
I have a feeling that it turns out that the gods are going to be, you know, all powerful. The fucking, what are they called? The god people in Assassin's Creed, or at least their creations. They're going to be their creations. It's going to turn out that this one guy is just, or girl, or I don't really know. This one person is going to be capable of wielding the powerful MacGuffin that makes him very important. He will go and fight important battles in England. Christianity is going to be brought up a couple times. The main character is going to question why he is doing this. Or rather, let me see here. There wasn't any Romans, were there?
Not that I saw.
Okay, so it's probably going to be during the early 10th century if they're going to be doing this, or heavens forbid, mid 11th century, in which case, well, here we go, I guess. But I have a feeling that he is going to feel conflicted about losing his culture or her culture. I don't really know exactly how this is going to work out. And then finally, the powerful MacGuffin happens. The plot line begins to devolve, and then the Viking guy or girl, I don't know, has a final last stand to fight against the heathen Christians. I don't know. This could go in like 7 different ways, but it's all going to be boring in the end.
I think so too. I think that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to do the fan service towards the people that have a significant misunderstanding of what Vikings were like historically. And I think that it will probably become a very average game. Maybe it might do some evolving after what we've had from the previous 2 games, what Odyssey and Origins, and it could be, it could turn out to be very good. But at the same time, though, it's like I'm not going to hold my breath for this to be anything great. If I want things that involve my Nordic background, I've got other games that I could be playing. I have Northgard for my Switch, and you know what? I still play Skyrim. I still play the shit out of it. It's not Nordic. It's very Nordic inspired, but it's not Nordic. But it does well. It does very well. I could do a Dungeons and Dragons setting that is that is from the old days of Scandinavia if I wanted to. I've got main point is I've got better alternatives.
There's always better alternatives, lads and ladies. Just you got to go out and actually look at them.
Yeah.
Very
so
important.
I think I've dried out all I can from this subject. Is there anything else you want to bring up with it?
Not that I can think of, buddy.
All right,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Guys, if you have any predictions on how this game is going to go, let us know. We'd be interested in seeing what you guys think on where Valhalla will be headed to. And if you want to support Super Arrogant Bros, we actually have a few ways here. But I'm going to save the biggest one for last. If you want to financially support us, you can do so through patreon.com/arrogantmedia. For $5 per month, you get access into the Discord server that we use for being able to talk to each other, hang out with fans. Also, this is where we do our interviews as well. So that leads into some of our other ways of being able to support us. Comment, leave comments on the iTunes, Google Play, whatever format that you can, because that's able to bring in some activity and therefore help us grow. But the biggest way to do so is to share the goddamn show. Share it with anybody that you believe would be up for listening to it, because here's why. The reason why we were able to get people in like Larry Bundy Jr. is because, we do have an audience. We do have people that listen to our show. And in order to continue getting guests on the show, we need this thing to grow. So it is up to you, the listener, to help us reach more of an audience. And that, in turn, also helps us to find sponsors. 'Cause here's the thing. Hitmonkey and I have been talking about this, where there are Twitch streamers who get pissed off and abusive and shaming if you are not donating to them. And I noticed this happen with podcasters as well. There are certain podcasters that will shame you if you perhaps lower your subscription or leave the subscription altogether as well, and they will push you to get into it. That is unhealthy. And in fact, I hate asking people for money. And in fact, I would much rather take sponsorships and be able to do things like ads on the show, because I think it's great to be able to have the content out there for free.
That'd be pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. So those are the ways to support us. If you want to, give us a like on facebook.com/arrogantmedia so you can check out what we're doing in the future. And I even have a Twitter handle @mediaarrogant. Feel free to reach me out there as well. Stev, do you have any final words about this? And do you want to go ahead and bring in the close?
So, I'm going to say this once. I'm a degenerate. Just saying that now I have a new computer. I'm going to do the most degenerate thing I can think of. Dirkham?
Yes?
Can you look up title of the few things that I've been kind of posting most recently, the most recent one, and can you put that into your Steam store page, please?
Hang on here. The titles of things you've been posting?
Well, the last thing that I did.
In our... Okay,
just put it on there.
All right, let me go to Steam real quick.
Can you just read me the description as soon as you see it? And, again, new computer, which means I'm going to be testing the limits of this damn thing to infinity and beyond instead of just playing nothing but Mountain Blade. Just,
okay,
what's
this is
the
a free...
description say?
Oh, no.
What's the description say?
Oh, no.
What does the description
Free
say?
pansexual furry dating game. Explore the dazzling neon lights of Amoris, a bustling furry nightclub that attracts all species, personalities, and sexualities. Create your own character and find all 9 dateable characters. Oh, could you just end my misery, buddy?
Guess what I want to talk about next week?
Okay. Next week we'll talk about furry dating simulators.
Or just whatever I can find on this damn degenerate fucking website. Remember when, Steam had like really fun indie games? And then all of a sudden, Steam's like, we're just going to let all the sexual content hit the field. And then, there's like games like Amoris, or Bright Memory, Third Crisis, Drug Dealer Simulator, being a dyke. What the fuck?
Alright.
Steam is a gift by God.
Looking at the reviews here, one of them just says, "I'm sorry, mother."
Fuck.
Alright,
bruh.
Go ahead.
I'm so upset.
Go ahead and close the episode.
All right, buddy. If you like what we're doing here, please support us on our Patreon page, like Papa Dirkham said. And until next time, fall damage.
Okay.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.